Today's show is sponsored by AirTurn, manufacturers of mobile mounting hardware and wireless app controllers. AirTurn offers tools for seamlessly executing your performance the way you want. Check out airturn.com and use the code ROADIE for exclusive deals.
What's happening, roadies? This is Charles Twilling.
This is Byron Isaac.
What's happening, roadies? This is Ian Campbell, and you're listening to Roadie Free Radio.
What's up, roadies? My name is Larry Milburn, and this is Roadie Free Radio, your VIP pass to meet and greet the stars behind the scenes of the music and film business. All right. What is happening, roadies? Welcome back to another episode of Roadie Free Radio. This one happens to be episode 149. This is your host, Larry Milburn, and I am coming at you from a barn in Northwest Connecticut. Woo! How are you today, friends? What is happening? My guest today, as we inch ever closer to episode 150, today's guest is Ian Campbell, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, Connecticut native, and Black Bear Americana Music Festival talent booker, Ian Campbell. He's going to play a tune for us, as a matter of fact. That's the guest for today. What can I tell you, man? It's been a heck of a week. It's been awesome. Getting ready to take off here for a few days with the wife down to the city. We're going to go spend a couple days in Park Slope, leave the kid behind at the in-laws, and just detune it and chill it. So I'm recording this a few days earlier than I would normally like to. It always makes me nervous. I try to record stuff as close to the release date as possible because I feel like you never know what's going to happen in the world. You know, good or bad, you just never know what current news story you're going to want to pull from. So right now, I really got nothing for you. Impeachment inquiry is still happening. Rock and roll is still happening. You know, what are you going to do? I don't know. You're going to keep moving forward. But last night, I had a great chat with another podcast host, good old Ivan from Fretman's podcast, Fretman's blog. I've talked about his show before, was gracious enough to let me on his show and grill me about being a podcaster and a filmmaker and, you know, share some of the stories that I've learned from all of you guys. So check that out. I'm sure he'll be blasting that out in the next week or so. Very cool stuff. Don't forget, man, we are now in the final push. This is it. The Black Bear Americana Music Fest is happening this weekend, October 11th, 12th, and 13th, Goshen, Connecticut. Come on, Columbus Day weekend. You know you want to spend it at an outdoor music festival that allows camping, has great camp spots. You can pull up your trailer, you can pull up your tent, you can car camp, tent camp, RV camp, whatever you got to do. They've got a sponsorship deal with RV Share, which is essentially Airbnb for RVs. And you can pull that thing up right there and camp out for the whole weekend. Right now, when you use that code ROADIE30, the number 30, that's ROADIE30, you get 30% off your ticket price, man. 30% off is a hefty chunk to come on down and see some music and get a deal on it. BlackBearMusicFest.com is the place to buy your tickets. It is also being sponsored by and put on by Power Station Events in Cheshire, Connecticut. They are providing all the staging, the backline, the crew, the Jumbotron, all kinds of stuff. There's going to be food. There's going to be crafts there. They got fires burning the whole time. It's going to be super cool. I cannot wait to be there. Jason Spooner Band is on the bill. The Weight Band is closing Friday night. Uprooted's going to be there. Luster Kings, the Slumbovian Circus of Dreams, Vance Gilbert, and Tracy Grammer are just a few of the bands. There are many, many, many more. Over 35 bands, over 3 days, 4 stages. There's an acoustic jam tent that's going to be happening 24/7, I believe. I may bring my guitar and hop in one of those jams. We're going to be doing some backstage content for you coming out of there. And we are going to be recording our 150th episode featuring former roadie and current director of the documentary Roadie, My Story. Mr. TJ Hoffman is our 150th guest. So stay tuned for that, my friends. And also, something else happening at that 150th episode Ding, ding, ding. We have a new sponsor announcement that we will be making during the 150th episode. So please tune in for that. I'm very excited to have these folks on board the Roadie Free Radio bus. It's nice. It's a good fit. Speaking of sponsors, you guys know about ShowPro Beard Co.? I bet you do. Those of you that have beards out there, I know you're like me. You wake up sometimes when you got the big and the bushy all over your face, and you got to figure out a way to tame it quickly and naturally and organically. And that's why Chris Wilson, the audio wizard, and his wife, they have created their very own unique formula of beard balm. Now, this stuff not only performs well in terms of health and nourishment, it also provides the control, the shine, the aroma that any bearded professional would appreciate and be proud, damn proud to wear. These are non-waxy, all-natural beard balms that will leave your beard soft, smooth, and nourished. Choose from a variety of natural smelling scents like Home Sweet Home, Morning Wood, Through the Woods, Chain Motor Oil, and if you don't want any scents, you can go with Original Unscented. Use that code ROADIE, you get yourself 20% off your entire order. That is 20% off when you use the code ROADIE. Guys, I'm giving you great deals when you think about it. 20% here, 30% over there. It's beautiful stuff. AES is coming up right around the corner. You know I love my Audio Engineering Society vacation. I'm going to call it a vacation from my regular life. I get to pop down to New York, schmoozle, network, see some cool gear. Like I said last week, I'm going to be over at the Avid booth getting a tour, a demonstration of some new desks. You know I don't know how those things work, and I can't wait. I can't wait to just stand there and let this guy tell me all about the newest Avid desk as I just stare in wonderment at what this thing does and what it can do. But I'm excited, and I'm going to get it for you. So that is going on. I will be there for one day, October 16th. It's a Wednesday. If you are planning on going and you want to hook up, let me know. Let me know. info@roadiefreeradio.com. October 16th, AES will be happening. Mixed with the Masters is there. Telefunken's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. I believe Sound Girls. By the way, Sound Girls did a very, very nice post. If any of you Sound Girls out there that are listening, Carrie Kais in particular, you know I love you guys, and Women's Audio Mission. You guys are you're doing it, man. You're doing it. But Sound Girls did a very nice post for me, just highlighting all the women that I've had on the show, and it's amazing, you know, when you look at the list. Because I just keep plugging along here. You look at the list, you're like, wow, man, I really have had a lot of incredible people, a lot of incredible women on the show, and I want more. I want more of you all. So keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. Thank you for that shout out. And do not forget, David, Dan, Sandy Warren, and I will be at the Judy Black Memorial Garden in Washington Depot, Connecticut. Not October. Come on, Larry. November 16th. November 16th from 5 to 7 p.m. Whew, it's going to be good, man. Born in Chicago, the blues of Michael Bloomfield and Paul Butterfield. We're going to be doing a book signing for David's new book. We're going to show some clips from Sandy Warren's film about Paul Butterfield. And what else are we doing? I don't know. I'm going to show a couple of clips out of Sweet Blues, the Michael Bloomfield documentary that I helped co-produce. And we've got some special guests coming. I'm hoping to get Michael's original Telecaster there and see if I can't find someone at Gibson who can lend us the Bloomfield signature Les Paul just to have it there. I don't want to keep it. All right. I just want to have it there as some eye candy. I believe Jerosa Records may also be coming to sell some records and some posters from that time. So check it out. November 16th. Born in Chicago, the blues of Michael Bloomfield and Paul Butterfield. We are also sponsored today, my friends, by Stagehands Clothing. They are your one-stop shop for high-quality, durable workwear and accessories for backstage and on-set professionals. When you got to be ready, and you know you got to be ready for your next task, check out stagehandsclothing.com. Use the code ROADIE to get 20% off your entire order. That's another 20. I just saved you in this show. 20, that's 40, 70%, man. 70% of stuff. You can go get it. I got some happy birthday shout outs. Chris Salim Chris Salim, happy birthday, dude. Matthew Slocum, happy birthday to you. And Laith Al-Sadi, happy birthday to you as well. Man, I'm excited for episode 150, but listen, before we get to that, we got today's guest, Ian Campbell. As I said, is a multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter, grew up in Connecticut. This dude had 17 brothers and sisters. How ridiculous is that? 17 of them. Oh my God. Another great tale. Another gentleman who spent time in the military and then got into the world of music. Was bitten by the bug. One of his older brothers that he talks about came back, played music in the house, and Ian was just struck, and he was he was a little lost there after the military, and decided to dive in headfirst into being a singer-songwriter, and has carved himself a pretty nice career. He is now also the talent booker for the Black Bear Americana Music Fest. So it was my pleasure to have him here in the barn to talk about his career, to talk about the genesis of the Black Bear Festival, and to play me a tune. That was the first time anyone, I believe, has been in the office and serenaded me, and I appreciated it. So I don't want to take up any more time. I'm very excited for this episode. I hope you guys are too. If you plan on coming to Black Bear, please send me an email, info@roadiefreeradio.com. And without further ado, here we go with Mr. Ian Campbell.
Hit it. Call yourself a roadie. Call yourself a roadie. Call yourself a roadie.
Ian, it's awesome to have you here in the studio. And it's been great getting to know you through doing Black Bear Americana Music Fest. I can't believe this thing's in my backyard.
I can't believe it's in my backyard.
Well, you should believe it because you helped start the damn thing.
Fact.
Fact, truth. Bible, as the kids say. So when this comes out, this is going to be the Monday prior to the festival starting. But right now, we're like a few weeks out still. So let's do a little time travel. And where are we at? How are things going? How are things looking?
Things are, I have to say, amazing. You know, I'm not much of an exaggerator, but they're blowing me away. This thing has gained a life of its own. Everything is descending upon this festival. There is, from what we had last year, which was pretty darn cool, it is just compounded into this world of people saying, I want to be there, and I want to bring this, and I want to do that, and I want to have this. There is going to be so much happening at this festival, you won't be able to turn around without something in your face. It's fabulous. I can get into the details, but I'll just end it right there for now. Well,
real quick up front, too, I'm running a special on tickets. So if you're listening to this the few days before the festival and you use the code ROADIE30, you get 30% off your tickets, which is fantastic, which is very generous of you guys to do. So thank you.
We want you here, and we want you to see it, and we want you to fall in love with it. And in the money, I mean, we have to survive, of course, but the money is not why we're doing it.
Yeah, that's great. Let's go back to last year's festival. And, you know, this is new for me to be able to have someone on the inside, a partner in a festival, a founder of a festival, to talk about it sort of from the inside out and putting something like this together. Let's just talk through a little bit about the experience of doing that. And tell me, for last year, I guess actually further back, even 2.5 years ago, meeting Beth Murphy.
Right.
It was her idea, is that correct?
Right. It's her brainchild. She puts on all the large events in our area, the big road races, the kind of events where thousands of people come. She's a logistical genius, and she can't be stopped.
Yeah.
You can't stop Beth Murphy.
Yeah.
And so she came to me one day and said, you know, you used to be the director of the National Guitar Workshop, and you've been a working musician forever, and you know so many people, and you know agents and managers. Do you think you could book stages for me if I took care of all the rest? And I was like, oh, of course I can, you know. And then about 8 months later or so, she said, well, I've got some investors and I have some money, so let's do it. Can you do it? And I said, well, I will, you know, I guess I can.
And it was just the two of you at this point.
Yeah, she has a gentleman named Evan Dobos, who is a partner of ours as well. And he is a fantastic marketing guy.
Yeah.
He's the one who came out with that logo.
Yep.
He does all of our websites and our marketing. So she brought him on for that end, me on for the staging and the music and all of that entertainment part. And she's the logistical end and just handles all of the meat and potatoes of it all.
And there's a fourth, is there not?
It is. So I used to work with this company called Power Station DJ Company when they were a little tiny DJ company back in the 80s in a strip mall in Naugatuck. And I went to them. I actually went to a few different staging production companies and said, hey, can I get stages? And they're like, yeah. I said, can I get backline? Well, we have to sub out for that. I said, okay. Can I get generators well, we have to sub out for that. Okay. Can I get, and everything was a sub. And I thought, this is going to be hard.
Right.
So I went and called this DJ company, which is now Power Station Events, and they're huge, and they do the Travelers Championship, and they do Rentschler Field, and they just do all this big stuff.
Yeah.
I said, do you think you could get me these things? And they said, we're a one-stop shopping. We have everything you need.
Yeah.
And then they said, let's partner up. We've been wanting to do a festival forever. Let's do this together. And we're going to put our best foot forward. And they sure did.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, just looking at the pictures and some video from last year and seeing what you guys had going on, it's amazing what they've done.
I can't agree more.
3 stages?
4.
Right? 4 stages.
Yep. in the lights and the sounds and the Jumbotron and wow.
Yeah.
Blows me
and
away.
you guys did not have a large budget. We don't have to get into the particulars, but I know last year's budget was not big.
Right.
And you pulled it off.
Thanks. It
was it crazy? Give me an example. Give me the time, a night, a day event, something where you were standing there going, "Holy shit! Like it's happening. We're in this."
Yeah, that was kind of the whole way. But there was a moment when because I'm on the stage, I'm announcing the acts, I'm
right.
Basically managing the stage and who's coming and going. And I took a moment and I walked through the crowd and I saw the magic. I saw the looks in the eyes. I saw the kids smiling and hula hooping and the fire spinners and the people kissing and eating hot dogs and it hit me. This is it. We got the magic. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
And that was my moment of bliss.
Yeah. And it was a good weekend overall, weather-wise. It's a kind of a tricky time.
Although that's true, because I think about that all the time. We're at a time of the year where you're guessing on the weather.
Right.
But at the same time, if you have a middle of the summer festival and it's just downpours, you're out of luck then too.
Right. Or it's ridiculously humid.
Right.
Yeah.
There was times I've been to festivals in 110 degrees.
Yeah.
In New England. That's hard.
Right.
So what we do have is this leaf peeping, leaf changing, beautiful sunsets on the. We have a hill that you're watching the concerts at. So it's got that I can't think of the word, amphitheater type
right,
and then the sun sets right over that hill and the leaves are changing and it's amazing. And I camp. Before we started this festival, I've camped every Columbus Day weekend since the year 2000.
Wow.
So in my head, I've marked what the weather's like on this. And actually rarely is it not good weather. It's usually pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
We're looking at the maybe high 70s, low humidity. Last year we had some
misty, chilly at night, probably.
Yeah, sometimes. So, but we have campfires everywhere, and you could have a campfire at your tent or at your camping place. And so there's a lot of ways. And plus, if you have a camper, you can bring your camper and plug it in. We have electrical out. We have numerous campsites. I think like 80.
Yeah, it's crazy.
With plugins. You can plug in your camper, put your heat on if you need it. I didn't need it at all last year, even though it had its moments of being a little chilly.
Yeah.
So, we're prepared.
I met Beth first at a coffee shop in Litchfield at the corner, as a matter of fact, little plug for them. And then, and she said, well, next week you got to come up and we'll meet up at the site and I'll show you around, give you an idea what's going to be happening up there. And again, I'd only seen the video that's on the website. This is going back a few months now, but going up there, when you see the potential and you see the layout of the place, it's like, oh my God, this is going to be awesome.
I agree. We got lucky.
Yeah, you're right. And there's new water, the whole water dispenser thing. She said it was new from last year, so you can get your drinking water, all the hookups, and just everything, man.
Flushable toilets.
Yeah, that's
2 words, flushable toilets.
That's all it should say on the website.
It should say Black Bear. We have flushable toilets. There's, we have porta potties too, which we keep clean, but we have plumbing.
Yeah.
Comfortable plumbing stalls.
Nice.
Come on
down. If you feel the need, come on down. Oh my God. That is great, man. Give me another highlight from last year.
Oh my God. There's my favorite thing about festivals is finding music that you just didn't know existed. It blows your mind. And now you're just locked onto this somebody for a while. So this year we have real headline acts that people know and love that are not in the know. Because the people that I know who know folk music, who know bluegrass music, who know Americana music, they know the John Gorkas and the Revelers and all of these bands, but they don't know the Andrew Delaney's and the Shanna in a Dress and the James Lee Bakers, and they don't know these people.
Yeah.
And these guys will get up on stage and shock you and change your life, kind of. Because, I mean, that's what music does, right? So those are my moments. And last year, there was a lot of those. It's hard to pick one. Judd Caswell came down. Well, I know him well, so I won't use that. But Andrew Delaney came out of Texas, and he just started playing this music. And I don't know, call it a man crush. I thought, wow, dude. So I play some of his songs now. It's just...
Wow, that's very cool.
It just gets me. So there's... Yeah. I mean, it's hard to pick one, but when music shakes my soul, that sticks.
You're in.
And I found that a lot last year.
I know you can't be biased, you can't play favorites, but who are you looking forward to seeing this year? This weekend?
So I'm going to go right for the throat on this one, because I really want to say that I'm looking forward to Uprooted. So Uprooted is featuring Michael Glebicki of Rusted Root. Yeah. So what they're doing is they're playing all the Rusted Root songs. The Rusted Root band had to be on hiatus, so Michael just went on and created with other band members from Rusted Root. He created Uprooted. They come and they play all those Rusted Root songs, and I've seen them before at major venues. And Michael Glebicki was standing on the piano and playing it at the same time. And I thought, what? So, and we'll have the Weight Band, which is a huge feather in our cap, But I know a girl from Colorado that I've met recently, and her name is Shanna, 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 and she goes by Shanna in a Dress. That's the name of her, and she's funny.
Yeah.
And she'll rip your heart out. So she'll sing one song that'll make you laugh with extreme charm. And then the next song she'll sing will break you in two. And I'm not exaggerating. I've very rarely cried as hard as listening to her song about the divorce of her parents.
Wow.
And I'm looking forward to seeing her.
Cool. Returning for there's a lot of Johnny Longo.
Yeah.
I met
he's a character.
I'd never heard of Johnny, and I met him when we did that site visit. God, that guy's funny, man.
He's a character.
He's funny, and he seems like, again, from the short clips that I've seen, he can play his ass off.
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. He can rip.
Yeah, good.
Blues music. Let's bring. Oh, so glad to have him back, and great band. His whole band are heavy players.
Surprises.
Interesting. Well, one of the surprises is that a longtime friend of mine from the National Guitar Workshop, we used to do ovation clinics together all around the country, is Matt Smith. And he's originally from New York and has, I think, 14 albums, is a world-traveling musician.
Telly player, right?
Oh, he's an everything player.
Yeah.
He's listed as, he can play anything with
strings.
strings.
He's on my guest list to get on the show.
Oh, well, great.
Yeah, a guy named Jason Greenberg. You all listening know who Jason Greenberg is. Jason has been pushing me to have him on the show. We've had some email correspondence, so trying to get it to happen.
Is now
he playing?
He'll be there Friday night on one of he'll be right before the Weight.
Cool.
And he's bringing his whole heavy hitter band that he's bringing from New York. He's coming up from Austin. So he's now in Austin. He runs a place called the Six String Ranch, which is a workshop place, but he also plays and gigs, and he's still making albums, and he's done stuff. He did this thing where I've seen, we were at the NAMM show together in LA.
Yeah.
And he was doing one of the acoustic nights, and must have been 2,000 people in this room, and they're all musicians this time. So you got an audience of all musicians, and you may know that if you have an audience of musicians, there's always somebody in the back who's just like, you suck, because they're musicians too.
Of course.
And everybody there had their mouth on the floor. He did this lead where he ran out of room from the strings, so he started just spinning his tuning peg. And it didn't sound like,
right.
It was
He just
perfect
did it right in time.
notes, and it was
Wow.
complicated.
Wow.
And everybody fell over.
Wow.
And his songs, his writing, there's nothing about him besides his amazingly beautiful soul. I mean, I don't know many like him. I keep sounding like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. And I'm surprised that he said yes this year, that he's coming up. He's somebody to see.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I got to get there. I'm definitely there for the wait. I guess I'm there all afternoon Friday.
Great. Well, then you're going to see him.
I got to make sure I get child coverage for that afternoon, or the kids coming.
Don't we all?
Yeah. You mentioned NAMM. Are you going this year to NAMM?
I don't think so. It's not on my agenda at this time, but they can come up. You know, one of my Ovation guys that I know and love is back there again. He's come back again.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm always willing to do anything with anybody there, or maybe we'll just go and represent the Black Bear.
Yeah.
It's always a great weekend.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I didn't go this past year. I went 2 years ago, and I'm trying to get there this year.
It's every time I go, it's like 80 degrees out there, and then it's like -10, and pipes are freezing in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I'm sending emails back to my friends saying, "Hey, man, sorry, but I'm sweating bad." And he sends angry.
The waves are crashing on the beach. I'm so sorry. All right, Black Bear Americana Music Fest coming up this weekend. If you haven't gotten your ticket, do so. Info at Roadie Free Radio. Actually, no, go to blackbearmusicfest.com and use the code Roadie30. Get yourself 30% off.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to it, as you are. We're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
So let's focus on you now.
Okay.
It's all about you now.
I have a child. It's not about me anymore.
And that's true. Yeah, I know what that's like. But we're gonna do more time. I think to do a lot of time shifting on this show.
Okay.
So because you've also mentioned the National Guitar Summer Workshop a few times now in this interview, and as you know, I'm an alum of that.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that. Let's break down for people who don't know what that was.
Yeah, for 28 years, this was the largest summer music school in the world. There was a time it was international. It was in Germany and in England. And then they brought it back to just being national. So they had 8 locations around our country. We had our main campus in New Milford, Connecticut, and we would just take over a whole school.
Yeah, Canterbury
during the
School,
summer,
right?
the Canterbury School.
Yeah.
Everything there, all the dorms, the cafeterias, and every room there, we just owned it for the summer.
Yeah.
And 2,500 students a summer would come and just take these immersion classes.
Yeah.
You live it. You're there all day, concerts all night. You live there, you eat there, you share there. And you, in 1 week's time, you'd get about a year's worth of education jammed down your throat.
Oh, yeah.
And it was wonderful. We had locations in Seattle, in Austin, Texas, in Nashville, in LA, and we just all over the place. And you can go. So it was amazing. It was the kind of place where people kept coming up to me, and I was one of the directors. I was for 9 years, and people would come up to me and say, "This, I don't fit in my regular life, but this is my home, and you've changed my life."
Oh yeah, and the great part about it was, I did 1 week, and I did 1 week because my best friend Victor, who was my guitarist in school, high school, and then he moved out to LA with me. Basically, we had a couple bands out there. He had done it the summer before we met. And so when we met, he was like, "Oh, I did this thing." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he sort of described it. And I was like, "That sounds crazy." So we went, did it together, and we lived in one of those dorm rooms, that's like sweating and so small with our feet on top of each other, basically. But I remember walking around, you're lugging your little amp and your guitar to the classes. And I just remember like seeing all the different kinds of players, right? You had your deadheads, you had your metalheads, you had the goth kids, you had all this kind of stuff. And just the circles of players that would gather around each other and play and show each other stuff. And it was just you're right, man. It's like, if I don't fit in anywhere else, I fit in here.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It was a non-competitive environment.
Yeah.
People were not comparing each other to each other.
Right.
And they weren't saying, "Well, we're rock and you're classical, so we don't like you."
Right.
They were sharing all the time.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful place. It was a love fest. And it was a really I can't find the word I'm looking for, but a place to encourage you more.
Sure.
And we had guest artists like Pat Metheny and Joe Satriani and Steve
Oh, yeah.
Vai
Yeah.
and Schofield and I mean
Even
it's
the
right there.
instructors, man.
Oh,
Like
my
I don't remember exactly. I don't remember their names, but I remember like you take like a rhythm class. It was like the first time I learned not only how to play reggae, but like playing reggae rhythm with a rhythm section.
Yeah.
You know, and those guys are all like, if you dug deeper into who these people were,
Yep.
they had some serious backgrounds.
Well, I mean, a lot of them were Berkeley teachers,
Right.
New York University teachers, world traveling musicians.
Yeah.
These were, and I hired them for the 9 years I was there. A lot of the people that worked as teachers there had already been well established before I had come.
Yeah.
Some legends. You
Yeah.
know, the Jody, I mean, everybody, Harry, and anyway, I won't even go on and on with all the names. It's not important for this particular moment, but these guys, they weren't just amazing. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
They would come out, they would skip dinner and give you a personal lesson if that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
So it was, I'm so sorry it's gone.
I know. That's too bad, man.
Economy
And the guy,
took it
was it
down.
Dave? What was his name?
David Smulliver, who
Dave
doesn't live far from here.
Right. What's he doing?
He's still quite the entrepreneur.
Is he?
Yeah, and he's creating a really cool online version of music education. That's very smart. It's got some new technology. You should
Cool.
see it soon.
Should get that guy involved in Black Bear.
I kind of do.
Okay.
I've offered him some things and said, you know, you're amazing. Everything you come up with is genius. And
Yeah.
so you come here,
Yeah.
show us.
He was a nice guy, man. That was a great experience. And what years were you there? You said
I was
90s?
there from 03, 02 till about 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I was there either 88, summer of 88 or 89.
Oh yeah. You're really in the genesis of it there.
Yeah, it had not, I don't think it had branched out to all the other campuses.
Right.
I think it was just Canterbury at that time.
I think they started in like 84 or something like that. So
Yeah.
you were close to the beginning.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah. It
was
got
super
monstrous. He's got huge.
I remember because at the end of the week, like all week, you're kind of working on your group song. We did the Hendrix tune Fire.
Cool.
And I got to sing that. I remember that was like, all right. And then I remember blowing my solo.
Oh, well,
Totally
you know.
tanked my solo.
It's okay.
But you're playing in that big fucking auditorium, man. And again, you've got a killer rhythm section behind you.
Yep.
There are weird things. There was a band, one of the other older groups, older kids groups, I should say, called themselves Pistols and Petunias because they did Sweet Child of Mine. And pulled that off. But yeah, and then didn't the counselors do a jam at some point?
Yeah. So there's the teachers have a night to do their concerts, and all the students have nights to do their concerts. So
Yeah.
every night is a concert. There's jams. We used to line up all the musicians there was a road race that would come through on one Saturday, and we would line up all the musicians and we'd play for them as they'd go running down the street.
That's
It
great.
was just living in music.
Have you ever gone to First Beast Ranch?
Oh, no, but I know of it, and I have been to other workshop places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to get down to Fur Piece.
I would love
That
to
looks
try
like an amazing spot.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go as like an exploratory trip.
Business expense.
Exactly. And yet we have no business
We have no
expending
business
this.
being there.
Oh my God. All right, dude. So now let's go back to you, dude. Let's bring this back even further. So you've been in this area for a while?
Yeah, I grew up in Naugatuck. I grew up in Connecticut. And then I have 17 brothers and sisters. So my mom and dad had 18 children, and I'm one of them. I'm the 9th one. So that gives me middle child
All
syndrome.
from the same parents.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I have to go and say that it has some adoptions in there, but my mom and dad birthed
How many of those children?
12.
Oh my
God.
God.
And then adopted. My mom did foster care for 98 children. There was always human beings in my house, and lots of them. But it was a
Wow.
beautiful place to grow up. A lot of love. We only had 1.5 bathrooms. You got to learn how to get along. So
You had 1.5 bathrooms with 17 kids? You said?
18.
18 kids.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
The
man.
truth is that some would age out.
Right.
So when there was some 18-year-old
They could go
moving
outside
out,
now.
Yeah, right. Yes. Get out of your cage and get some air. So,
Right.
yeah, it was an interesting life. I remember soon after I was born, my mom was like, "Look, your name is Ian. There's the fridge. Good luck." And so
Where were you in the
the ninth one,
ninth? You were halfway through.
halfway.
Shit.
Yeah, it was a great life. And my older brother, Bruce, we were named in alphabetical order. That's a little weird, but cool. So he was the second child, Bruce. He was like a cowboy. He would travel the country in the 70s when you could hitchhike around the country.
Sure.
And he was a guide. He would take people in the Bitterroot wilderness in Idaho, and he would guide them for hunting. He could wrestle a horse to the ground. I mean, the man was a full-on cowboy, and he would come back and visit like at Christmas, and he would sit around and play guitar, Willie Nelson stuff, and we would just sit in a circle and watch him fall in love. And I asked him one day, "Would you teach me?" And he taught me Unchained Melody song, 4 chords, and that started my music career.
How old were you?
21. I was home from the military. So I joined the military at 18 because it was the only way I was going to be able to pay for school.
It was the only way you could get out of that house.
That too. I mean, it was either that or hang out in front of the 7-Eleven. And I tried all the Slurpee flavors. I was done with it.
Yeah.
So I joined the military. I did my 5 years there. And then when I got out, that's where I learned music from my brother at that time. And then
there was no music prior to that, except for your brother coming back, playing tunes.
Yeah, as far as me knowing how to play an instrument,
There was nothing going on.
Right.
Wow.
So you can start late.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was only a year after I started playing that I realized I want to do this.
Right, because you then made this a career.
This is a career. I'm raising a family off this. So
Damn.
I've been a 5-6 night a week working musician for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it is what it is. It's hard. It's cool.
Yeah.
You got to hustle,
right,
or it doesn't work.
Right, exactly. It's not like you're in a band. You got 4 other guys who are helping to promote. It's you, right? You're a singer-songwriter.
I'm a singer. Yeah. So I do a solo thing. I hire bands. When I need them.
Right, but it's not like you're you two and everybody's in the marketing game together.
Right.
You're not pushing it's all you, man. All right, so you're 21. So what branch of the military did you join?
I was in the Navy.
Okay.
I flew on a plane called a P-3 Orion. Yeah, so I spent 5 years flying around the world, and I had no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah.
So I really lucked out because it was a pretty exciting thing to do.
That's fantastic. What years were that?
86 through 91.
86 through 91. Yeah. Where were we? Gulf War.
Yeah.
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 Did you see any action, do any of that shit? You did.
Yeah, it was quite a time to be alive. And it was funny because war hadn't been around since like Nam, right? So no one was expecting when the admirals were coming in to the squadron meetings and saying, "Hey, guess what, everybody?" There was heads hitting the tables like, "Wait a minute, we didn't join the military for this." And it's like, "Yes, you did." So it was real. It was interesting stuff. And then when I got out, I was a little bit having a hard time assimilating back.
Sure.
So I decided to get in my broken down Jeep, and I drove out to see my brother, Bruce, who taught me music. And he lived in Phoenix, Arizona at the time. I drove that way, drove up to San Francisco to visit some old friends in the military. And during that healing trip was the first song I've ever written.
That 6-string fucking thing right there saved your life, didn't it?
You know what? This is therapy. This is when I write a song and I look at that paper and say, that's exactly how I feel. I just pay myself $150 an hour for the therapy session. And I got something I knew that I could share the world. It's awesome.
That's fantastic. It's true, man. I mean, that thing will get you out of every jam, right?
What it is to me is it doesn't have words.
Yeah.
It's sometimes I play and I swear that I'm flying. And then you finish that last note and you come back and you land.
Right. You're
like,
fuck.
Something. I know. What
God damn it.
Playing again.
Well, first of all, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
And so you start playing, you're hanging out with Bruce. Is Bruce still with us?
He is.
He is. Where's he hanging out now?
He just recently, just this year, after 40 years of living in Arizona, moved to Florida.
Okay. Cool.
So he's down there. I have a lot of family in Florida.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, so he went down that way. He might come up this way someday. We'll see.
Come up for the festival, Bruce.
That's what
Bruce,
I
if you're
told him.
listening,
Bruce.
and all the rest of you 16 other kids, okay, come on, support the brother. He's doing something good here, man.
Give you a discount, 30%. Put in the roadie free.
Use the code, Bruce.
What the
Bruce,
God.
So, all right, so you go on this little mini road trip. You write your first song. And what was the first song called?
It was called As Soon as That Memory Goes Away. Mm-hmm. So I think I'll get over you as soon as that memory goes away.
Nice.
And then I wrote 25 more in 6 days.
Wow.
I was bleeding music.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It was a complete catharsis.
Damn, you still cover those songs?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I still play them. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's people who like them. So when I pull those out, they're like, there's that little part of the crowd that goes, whoa.
Right.
So, yeah. I mostly play my new stuff, but I'll dip back in.
So this is like 92, 93.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then you're cruising around out west.
Yep.
Thinking, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a rock star.
You know, I had actually thought, I'm not a big country fan, but in the 90s, there was great country happening then. And I was listening to it. And the way my music is, which is folky, Americana-y, James Taylor-y folky, I thought, I'm going to be that. So rock star maybe wouldn't be the exact word I'm looking for, but I thought, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play original music on stage and make a living.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how did you start going about that? What'd you do? Did you move back here then ultimately? Like, I'm gonna do it from Connecticut?
No. I was actually trying to stay in Florida, which is the last place that I was stationed.
Got
I
it.
liked it at the time. It was warm, and I like warm.
Yeah. What part of Florida?
I was in Jacksonville.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Some good music coming out of Jacksonville.
I'd say, yeah, and Atlanta's right there. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what I was doing. And back then, really, there was not the internet is such a source right now that was not there.
Yeah.
I bought a book like How to Make It in the Music Business.
Yeah.
And I read it from cover to cover and highlighted everything I wanted. And I literally muscled it out. I trial and error and failure and success and just knocking my head against the wall.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of
One
starts and
coffee
stops.
shop at a time,
Yeah.
right?
Coffee
house.
Yep. And I would save up a little money and say, okay, here I go again. And I would try to do it full time again.
Right.
And I'd fail and I'd go get another job, save up so money.
Right.
And about 8 months, a year later, I'd try again.
Yeah.
And then one day I found out a friend of mine had an agent in Connecticut. So now I'm back in Connecticut.
Okay.
A friend of mine had an agent and he said, hey, if you want to work with that agent, here's his number. He'll like you. And I called him, sent him a demo. He said, I'll book you. And that was really the beginning of the full time.
Wow. And so when you were down in Florida, were you were doing coffee houses, open mic nights, anything to just get up there and play? Were you starting to develop like a small following of fans, or was it just like your friends coming out to see you, that sort of thing? Did you feel like this is gaining some ground here, or wasn't it not until you got back here?
Yeah, I would say no. I wasn't gaining any real ground there. Florida is a place that something's happening 7 nights a week.
Yeah.
You can go down those strip malls and there's a Bennigan's and a Taco Bell, or not a Taco Bell, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Applebee type places. They're packed.
Right.
Monday night. Right. Everybody's there every night. So the venues I played just had a ready-made crowd. Yeah. And everybody wanted to hear Brown Eyed Girl. Right. So you got that song down, you're good. And you just do that and make your money and go home.
Yeah.
So I really started to, once I got back to Connecticut, my friend and his family bought a cottage on the lake, Bantam Lake. Uh-huh. And we started to hang out there. He and I were in our early 20s and just kind of lived there. And I was sitting in his driveway once listening to James Taylor acoustic version of Sweet Baby James. And I have been listening to James Taylor all my life. Yeah. But it was that moment that it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I said, that's it. This is me now. I'm doing this. And that was the real beginning of focusing on making my own music, recording my own music onto a CD. That was me. I decided then I'm going to make my album, because even then, and it was not as easy to make an album.
Sure.
You could make it on your own. You didn't have to go to a major studio.
Right.
But it's easier now.
Yeah.
So,
well, you could get those big Tascam, desks, right? Not desk, but whatever had a CD you could burn onto the CD from that thing. So you could kind of do like your own little EP demo, kind of a thing. That's interesting, man. So we were sort of parallel. In '94, I moved out to LA from here, basically from New York, but from here, and I started my musical journey out there, doing the same thing. Trying to get people to come see you at coffee houses and all that shit. Save up money to make cassette EPs that you could send out to get booked in other places, and doing that coffee house circuit. And, that's what you got to do. I think that's possibly missing, because I know in LA, a bunch of those have dropped off, particularly a lot of the ones, however many years ago that was, those are gone. But that's sort of missing in the age of the internet with social, because now people just sit in their room and they can make a YouTube video of them playing, and sure, you can gain followers, but there's something about, doing the grind, doing the hustle, as you said, right? Packing your shit,
Oh, yeah.
Getting it in the car.
-5 degrees out.
-5 degrees, or it's balls hot in LA, or
Right.
wherever you are,
Right.
and sitting on a stage, nobody's paying attention, and playing your song.
Yep.
You got to go through that.
It's
Right?
the dues, I guess.
Yeah,
You know?
it, for sure.
But it adds character. It adds,
Yeah.
like I play a big stage now. You still get the nerves when you're on
Sure.
a bigger stage, but you've done it a million times. You got it. Your
Right.
brain's on
Right.
autopilot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could be up there thinking about, oh, geez, I got to do my taxes. But the music's still coming out. So,
Yeah.
but if you're not thinking about your taxes and you are in the moment and you're able to send that out to the crowd,
Right.
it often becomes this circle of energy or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah.
And magic happens.
Yeah. Well, I also think it's, you learn things, right? You learn if people aren't paying attention. All right, how can I pull them back?
Yeah.
What do I do? That's not a gimmick. That's authentic and, real. It's me. Is it changing a song, throwing out the set list and just going for it?
Right.
Is it, throwing a cover real quick that everyone's going to know and then they get them back? You just learn those little things. And
You
that's
do.
that's key, man. That's important because it is performing. At the end of the day, it is, entertaining.
It is. I put musicians in two places. You're either a giver or a taker. You're either given or you're looking at what you can get from this whole thing.
Right.
And I can tell the difference, I think, in that I pick the givers.
Yeah.
And if you're out there to say, you've come to see me, and I don't even care if you clap. This is not about me. This is
Right.
about me trying to put something out there that makes something good happen inside of you. And I'm only trying.
Right.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. And when it's successful, it pays back.
Yeah, for sure. Big dividends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, yeah, I keep using that darn word, but it's the things that have been said to me and about like, oh, that song did something to me, or it's way. My friend says what does he say? Darn it, the return is in a not, I can't think of the word. Darn it! I'm actually tired. I'm working like 16 hours a day.
It's all
these
good,
days,
dude.
but
It's all good.
It's not. The return is not comparable to the output.
Right.
It's like 50 times you get something that makes you go, oh,
Yeah.
that you were, wow, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Good. So you come back here, you start getting booked. Now back then, mid 90s, there were still a lot of places you could play in Connecticut, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
A lot.
Yep.
And now those are kind of gone.
Yes, that's just too bad. Live music is a million times better than
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, granted, we don't have, and we don't have commercials, so there's something about it. To of course, anybody who's seen live music and really appreciates it knows that it's something in the air.
Yeah. So you've made this your career. You played a gajillion gigs here.
Yeah, I could say that.
Toured
Yeah,
on your own.
Absolutely.
Sold music.
Yeah.
Done the whole deal. Now you got a family.
Yeah.
Got a side hustle because of that.
Yeah, you got it.
Right.
Kid needs a new pair of shoes.
As you, and then another, slice of pizza or whatever the hell. They just eat incredibly much.
I just bought you those shoes. I know.
Yeah, right. It's wild. So let's talk a little bit about making that adjustment in your career. Because you hadn't hung up the guitar. I mean, you weren't done. You're
Right.
not done. You're still doing this, even
Right.
though you're a big fancy festival guy now, right?
Fancy.
Fancy pants, right? So what's that, internal thing like? Like, okay, well, I got to slow down the amount of gigs.
Yeah, I do. I did. My son, when he was first born, and my wife works during the day. She's a nurse, so she had the day. I had the day. Watch. I was a stay-at-home dad. I was Mr. Mom. Wow, that was harder than I thought it would be. And being from a big family, I had been watching kids changing diapers, babysitting all my life. I thought, well, I'm going to be really good at this, but
Yeah.
boy, that was a miss.
How old's your son?
He's 9 now.
He's 9 now. Okay.
So for the first couple years, and I would be home all day, and then I'd gig all night, and then be home all day and gig all night. So it was kind of a 24-hour day job. But my wife would just, get him fed, and he's in diapers, and take him to bed at 6:37. I'm out the door going to my gig.
Yeah.
It was easy. But once he started to really wonder, where you going, Dad? And I thought, well, I'm going to miss all this time with you if I don't pay attention to this. And
Right.
So I picked up some work that I can do at home, so I can watch him and do the work at home. And then I just naturally had to cut back on my gigs because I can't do all of it and actually stay awake and drive and function.
Stay awake anymore.
And also I want to be with him. This means everything to me. I got these brief years that he likes me.
Right. Yeah, because you're even further down there. I got a 4-year-old. You're at 9. Dude, you got like a couple more years till they're like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, Dad.
See you
could
later,
you drive
dude.
me over here and drop me off? So
Right.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love him. He's an amazing kid. This is the best thing in my life, and I'm going to put time there.
Yeah. Good. Cool. So I see you got a fancy guitar here sitting here. You just happen to have your guitar with you.
Yeah, that happened.
You gonna play me some therapy? I need a little therapy, man.
Well, how much you got?
Well, first of all, how much you got? I got $150. That's what you said it was worth.
That's per hour. It's going to be a 3-minute song.
Oh, right. Okay. Tell me about this guitar, because this is gorgeous.
Thank you. I love this guitar. This has got a cool story to it, too. So this is a custom-made, handmade guitar made by the wonderful Mark Jones. This is a Jones guitar. So Mark Jones is a musician that is a hustler and has been working his butt off for decades and decades. And he used to be at this one bar in Naugatuck when I first got out of the military, and I would watch him every Friday night. He would do some Irish music and he would do some cover stuff, and every Friday I would go. And then one day I had a girlfriend who really wanted me to play this love song for her. And she said, can he play a song? And he said, sure, come on up, you'll play the song. And I got up there and I played it for her. And it was not very good, but I was still in my beginnings, Anyway, every time I would come after that, he would give me an opportunity to get up on stage and play one song. And then one day he played Melissa by the Allman Brothers, and I approached him and said, that was great. And the next time I came, he had sheet music in hand. He gave it to me. He said, here you go. You learn it now. And I thought, you're just a great guy. So he helped me get started, really. And in Connecticut and in a real, regular thing. So I found out just a couple of years ago that he makes these amazing handcrafted guitars.
Here in Connecticut?
Here in Connecticut, in Cheshire, Connecticut. His stage name is Mark James. And the Carey Boys is his Irish band.
Okay.
And these are amazing. There's not a lick of plastic on this thing. Every piece of this is wood. And so this wonderful walnut back and sides, which is gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's inlaid all throughout the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
There's it's got a cedar top. I mean, it's everything about it is gorgeous. And
No internal pickup system, nothing.
no, there is.
Oh,
There's
there
this
is?
little pickup right here.
Oh. Did
but
you
it's-
put that in, or he
it's
put that in
subtle.
there?
He put it in. It was originally acoustic. I said, I want electric too. He said, just hang on a minute. And
So you got a 1/4-inch jack in the thing.
quarter-inch
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
So these in the sound and the playability, the action, the feel, it's just really great. So not only do I have this immaculate playing, gorgeous guitar, but it came from a guy who had a lot to do with my beginnings. So this full circle thing is making me happy.
You seem like a happy guy. You seem like a generally happy guy.
I try. It's a lot of stress.
Are these available in stores, or is this like you got to know the guy?
You gotta know the guy, but
Okay.
he makes a lot of them. Yeah, I mean not a lot, but he
Right.
makes enough that if someone was to be able to get a hold of him and say I'm interested,
Yeah.
he'll make one for you.
Nice. Mark James.
Mark Jones guitars. Mark James' stage name. The Carey Boys is his
So it's
band.
Mark Jones guitars.
Yeah, that's
but
his
his
real
stage name is
name.
Mark James.
That's his stage name. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're going to play something for us today?
I'd love to.
I got to tell you, 149 episodes in, you're the first in-house, in-studio guy who's
No.
going to play me some music.
No way.
Yeah, I think it's true.
I'm
149 of these damn things, and you're the first dude who's shown up with an instrument and is going to play me a song.
I better not blow it.
Dazzle me, motherfucker.
Well, then I guess I'm not going to play Brown Eyed Girl. then.
What? Yeah, don't play Brown Eyed Girl.
All right.
What is the song you're going to play?
I was thinking of a couple different ones. I have this cool song about worrying that I thought would be interesting, but I think I'm going to go back
There's
to my
enough
well.
worry in
Right.
today's life.
It's right. This is about not worrying.
Let's not
but
worry.
It's about how it's the tagline is worrying is like saying a prayer for what you don't want, because whatever you're putting out into this world,
Yeah.
if you're worrying about this, you're putting it out there.
There was a
Don't do
very astute gentleman way back had a song called "Don't Worry, Be Happy." You may remember that song. He summed it up just like that.
Did he play in the same places? I didn't know. The
I
coffee
don't
houses?
think he did. He may have started in those
You
places.
sure?
Right.
Don't we all? Well, I am going to go to the well on this one. This song is it's called "My Town," and so as I said, I moved up to Litchfield after I got out of the military. So I've been there for like 21, 22 years now. And when I started there, because I visited my friend at Bantam Lake, and I started falling in love with the area. It's gorgeous up here.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of people who are actors in around here.
Yeah.
And it just kind of goes to show you that if you can live anywhere you want, and you live here, that this might be a pretty good place to live.
Yeah.
'Cause
Not when you're like 15 or 16.
Oh, sure.
Right? When you hit the teenage years, it's kind of like,
What's going on? Everybody's sleeping by
gotta
7
go.
p.m. Right.
Gotta go.
But it's gorgeous.
But raising a family, being a young kid up here is great.
Yeah.
Right?
It
Young
is.
adults,
Hiking, running, biking. Cars don't come near you on the road. They give you plenty of space.
Yeah.
It's a kind place.
It is a kind place.
Yeah.
And they've got this amazing music festival that's just started. It's unreal. All right.
I moved to Litchfield and I fell in love with the land, but the people around here are the kind of people who you see in the grocery store, and they don't just say hi. They say, "Hey, how's your dog doing?" And I thought, you guys are great. And then we do these events, these charity events. There's a charity here called the Possum Queen Foundation that raises money, over $100,000 a year now, for if someone in the area falls into medical or financial distress or need, you can say, "Hey, Possum Queen Foundation, can you help?" And they could very well come across and help you in a very big way.
Wow, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, it happens on New Year's Day at the Litchfield Inn, Possum Queen. It's amazing.
The Possum Queen.
Foundation, yeah.
Possum Queen
is,
Foundation.
and it's a scream. It's so much fun. It's ridiculous. The things that happen there are hysterical. You've never had so much fun giving to charity in your life. As they say, we put the fun in fundraising. Anyway, those kind of things have endeared me to this place. In the concerts on the green and all of these beautiful Norman Rockwell type of events and things that happen here. So I wrote this song in response to these beautiful people. It's called "My Town." It's my hit. Well, it's a hit in my house anyway. I live alone. I found a place where on summer nights the whole town comes to the green. The children play as the sun goes down, and music fills the air. And neighbors talk for hours again. What a long winter it has been. Let's get some sunshine on our skin, and our cares just drift away. I love my town. I love the way they know your name, and how they found we're all together in this game. These planted seeds show such honor for their ground. And when there's need, you'll see the wagons circle round. I love my town. How we are raised and how we raise our kids. That circle is rolling on. And when that circle takes you back to the ground, they'll remember what you've done. And there are folks whose eyes can see. It's not about the damn economy. And when you build a real community, you've already changed the world. I love my town. I love the way they know your name. And how they found we're all together in this game. These planted seeds show such honor for their ground. And when there's need, you'll see the wagons circle round. I love my town.
Ian Campbell. Ian Campbell, my town. I love my town. Beautiful stuff, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
This has been a pleasure, dude. That's a great song to go out on.
Cool. Thanks.
Good stuff. Thank you, dude. Guys, this is it. Last chance. Black Bear Americana Music Fest this weekend, Columbus Day weekend. Get your tickets. Let's go. We'll see you there.
Come find music.
You're playing. What day? When are you playing?
I'm doing a little main stage songwriter in the round with a couple heavies.
Okay.
And then I got a little Sunday thing on the acoustic stage.
Okay.
So I'll be there.
You didn't get yourself on the main stage, dude?
Well, I will. I'm doing it in the round.
Oh, in the
on
round
there.
thing,
That
okay.
way, the main stage is really meant for big old bands.
Yeah.
So the only way I can put a few acoustics on there is put a few up at the same time.
Sure.
Those in the rounds are fun.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Cool, dude. Ian, this has been a blast, dude. I thank you so much for sharing.
Same here, man. It's nice to get to know you more.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Oh, man, I love a good lullaby. Ian, thank you so much for swinging by the barn and sharing your songs and your life with me, buddy. Guys, stay tuned next week, episode 150. Come on. TJ Hoffman, former roadie and director of Roadie, my documentary, is going to be with us at the Black Bear Music Fest. During the week, you can follow us at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify, all as Roadie Free Radio. Check out the website, roadiefreeradio.com. Send me a note because you know I want to hear from you. That's info@roadiefreeradio.com. And my friends, in the meantime, y'all be safe out there. No roadies, no rock and roll.